Whether it's orange in your chocolate, hazelnut in your coffee, blue cheese in your salad dressing, spearmint in your chewing gum, bacon in your crisps, kiwi fruit in your jelly, or strawberry in your milkshake, whatever, flavouring companies can provide all of the above, just to suit your tastes. Not only do flavourings companies produce ingredients for commercial use, they also manufacture standalone flavouring products for retail sale, such as those syrups you squirt into coffee or other drinks. In the company's research and development lab, flavour chemists create each recipe, drawing from an elaborate arsenal of ingredients. If they're designing an orange flavouring, for example, they might combine orange essence and orange peel with extracts from other citrus fruits, tweaking the proportions until they achieve exactly the taste they're after. This chemist is designing flavouring for a soft drink. He pours a specific amount of his trial recipe into water, then carbonates the mix by adding pressurized carbon dioxide. He bottles the drink and sends it to the client for approval. Once the client gives the approval, the plant technicians mix a production formula, following very precise weights and measures set out in the recipe. Once they combine the formula's key ingredients, they add them to liquid fillers, such as fruit juice and water, and solvents, such as ethanol. The solvents trigger molecular changes which transform the oil-soluble key ingredients into a water-soluble state. Without this conversion, the finished flavouring would simply float on top of any liquid when added. At several points throughout the process, the company's quality control lab performs an array of tests to assess the colour, flavour, viscosity and other characteristics. The last ingredients to go into the production formula, when the recipe calls for them, are the colourings. Sometimes a client wants a powdered flavouring rather than a liquid one, so chemists develop a liquid recipe that a machine called a spray dryer can produce into a powder. In the production plant, workers pour the required quantity of production formula into a large processing kettle. They add whatever additional ingredients the recipe may call for, and if required, heat the mix. If they're making a powdered flavouring, they pour the liquid into a mixer containing water, gums and starches. These keep all the ingredients evenly blended. Then they open a hatch and drop the mix directly into the spray dryer. The machine uses high pressure to transform the liquid into a fine mist, then heat to dry the mist particles into powder particles. They put the powder into a machine called a ribbon blender and add whatever dry ingredients the flavouring recipe calls for. The mixing blades slowly blend all the powders together. The plant sends a sample from the blender to the quality control lab. Among other tests, lab technicians put the sample under a microscope to analyse the particle size, which indicates how thoroughly the ingredients are blended. After the ribbon blender, the finished flavouring passes through a vibrating screen, a magnet and a metal detector. The packaging equipment weighs a specific quantity and dispenses it into cartons lined with polyethylene. A suction hose vacuums up any dust in the process because airborne powder is an explosion hazard. The plant sends a sample from every batch it produces back to the lab. Trained testers smell and taste the sample and compare it to the model lab batch. The testers flag any production sample that's even the slightest bit off the mark, in which case they alert the flavour chemists, who then diagnose and fix the problem. This procedure, along with the various quality control measures throughout the production process, ensures the all-important taste consistency. Whether the prepared flavouring is an ingredient in a food or beverage, or a flavouring that you just add to a drink or snack. Lovely. Yes, try that one. Rhubarb and custard sugar. That's my favourite.